I'm a loving, reliable, and responsible man. I pledge to create a civilized world that has love and contribution to peace under the rule of Almighty God. I'm a loving, reliable, and responsible man. I pledge to create a civilized world that has love and contribution to peace under the rule of Almighty God. I'm a loving, reliable, and responsible man. I pledge to create a civilized world that has love and contribution to peace under the rule of Almighty God.
Okay, thank you very much. It's our first time to do English broadcasting, okay? So it's my pleasure. Firstly, the language I used in our channel is Cantonese. Okay, Cantonese is not Chinese. Okay, different type of languages. First, secondly, there are two different type of people. Okay, Chinese people and Cantonese people are different in DNA. Heritage are different too. Maybe we can explain it later. The formation of Earth. Okay, according to the Asian script about Earth, they call it Jendan. Jendan is a name, is a very very old name. It's an Asian name of Earth, and which is talking about a jara. A jara is a shape, it's a shape of jara, and it's not a globe. It's not a global shape. Okay, and it is not flat either. So the Earth is not flat. It is not globe. The Earth is jara. Okay, and which means it got a dome on the top and has a cone in the bottom. Okay, so it's spinning all the time. It's spinning from one direction to the other direction. When the energy is exhausted, and then the spinning will turn the other side. Okay, so for example, if the gyro turning from clockwise, okay, when the energy is finished, and then we start anti-clockwise. Okay, and when anti-clockwise finish, the energy is back to zero, and then it will start again clockwise until the energy is finished. Okay, so it never stop, it never end. So it is why our Earth, this world, can continue, never stop. There's no the end of the world. But we have different civilization. So we have, in the past, we have a lot of civilization been established. So the history of Earth, okay, back to about 5 billion, was it? Something like that, I can't remember, all right? And during that, so in the past, say 5 billion Earth years, we have established a lot of civilization, okay? And the Earth, this jara, has been created by intelligent living things from other dimension, because they have the knowledge to create the planet, to create the jara, the Earth. Say back to so the first thing I talked about the multi-dimension, and people talk about the universe, but the universe doesn't exist. Okay, the universe not from the Big Bang. A lot of scientists talk about the universe, come from the Big Bang. One day it just bang, okay, and keep expanding or contracting. Okay, maybe getting bigger or getting smaller. So, but this concept, this theory doesn't exist because the universe doesn't exist. So what does exist? Empty. So the empty exists. It's very funny, isn't it? Contradiction, huh? Because they were taught leaders of the deep state. I call it deep state means there's some extraordinary forces which control or conquer the world of Earth in the 10,000 years ago. So in the past 10,000 years, maybe more, we were colonized, we were slavery and control by these deep state forces, and they are extraordinary beings, and they have negative forces, they have negative thinking, they have negative philosophies, and they have negative behaviors as well. So they representing we so call as negative forces, okay, from other dimension, right? From the third dimension, as we consider, third dimension we have the height, the width, okay, and the length, and then we have time to form the fourth dimension, and then we have mind to form the fifth dimension, and so on. That means within the empty, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 11 dimensions. So I call this 11 dimensions within our empty. Okay. Beyond that, we have unstable stage of dimension 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on up to 20, 21. Okay. And then when we go up to 22 dimension, which is stable. So 22 dimension back to the 1 dimension. Get it? So then we have 22, 23, 24, 25, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So it is another cycle. And when we look down 1 dimension, when we look down, we don't call it 0 dimension because it doesn't exist either. Okay? So when we look down 1 dimension, we look down, it's -1, isn't it? And then -2 and -3 and so on. But we don't put negative in front of it. We call it it's another 21 dimension, 20 dimension, 19 dimension, and up to another 11 dimension. Because from 21 to 12, these dimensions, they are unstable stages. What I mean unstable, that means they are turbulence. You don't get into it, and you can't get into it, and nothing can escape. Okay, deep state scientists, they call this the black hole. Okay, but this black hole doesn't exist at all. There's no identification, or there's no boundary of black hole, and it is only a concept. So black hole doesn't exist. The only exists is the dimensions from 12 to 21, because they are turbulence. Okay, and it is not a wormhole either, because it doesn't exist either. So if you want to go from our empty to the other empty I just mentioned, above or below, you have to go through all these unstable dimensions until you enter a stable dimension, 11 or 1, above or below. Get it? So I just draw a picture for you to imagine how dimensions exist instead of the universe. And there's no galaxies, and there's no solar system. Before we talk about, we go down the second dimension, okay? We talk about, we go to fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, things like that, and so on, okay? And you need energy to go up. And how we get this energy from the third dimension, the earth? First thing is, we need to practice. We need to practice, okay? To practice to produce energy, which already within us, within our body. Because our body can connect to other dimension. Okay, you get it? But the primary is we need to produce this energy for us to connect to other dimension. So how are we going to produce this energy? We need to awakening. We need to awake. If we still reluctantly to awake, then we never can produce such energy to upgrade our soul connect to higher dimensions. Awakening is we need to find out the truth of our history. We need to know the truth of the science. We need to know the truth of the meaning of life. I don't convince people. I respect all lives on earth. Okay, so people have the right to choose their future. Okay, totally respected. But what I do here is I do teaching, and I do teach people who want to, who ready to awake, and who ready to upgrade their soul to a higher dimension. Okay, when you are ready, then you approach me, and I will give you this knowledge, the knowledge of mankind, the knowledge of the earth, the knowledge of the empty, the knowledge of the multi-dimensions. And this knowledge comes from higher dimensions, from our so-called the gods or extraordinary beings from higher dimensions. Gods, that's right, there's no such aliens either, no aliens at all. Okay, so what we talk about is gods is a general name of it. I would say we put a general title to explain those intellectual beings from other dimensions, from fourth dimensions, the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, and above. Normally, people will describe the beings from four dimensions into different names, such as gods, spirits, demons, evils, angels, etc., or aliens, people call it. But one thing is there's so many different type of living things from different dimensions. I said universe doesn't exist, but their worlds exist at all, for a long time. Okay, first, when the Supreme God from the 11th dimension, Supreme God, which is very, very high level on the top of the hierarchy, they order that back to a long time ago, say 5 billion years ago, something like that, maybe more. They order to create a three-dimensional world. It's called Earth. Intellectual beings from high dimensions, such as 9 or 10, they form the model, okay, of the giraffe, and which based on the 3 dimensions, okay. And then we see the 3 dimension, of the model, which is the Earth, we call it, okay, today's Earth. And then the supreme power, the supreme God order to create, landscapings. Then another higher beings from 7, 8, 9 dimensions, and then come to this three-dimensional model to create landscaping. Have mountains, have desert, they have jungles, they have highlands, they have lowlands, they have sea, they have ocean, etc. and etc. Okay, then this only the landscape. And the Supreme God order to create living things on earth, and then those scientists from those advanced technologies worlds come down to the third world Earth to create lives. Okay, they based on what? They based on their own portraits. Okay, such as there's a world in the 5th dimension. They call little dogs. Okay, today we call it little dog planets. Okay, they come down to Earth. They create a human portrait. Okay, a human being faces. They based on their portraits to create human being. And other scientists, they have advanced technology from other dimension, from other worlds of dimension, also come down to Earth to create their own lives. Some with elephant faces, some with bull's faces, horse faces. Some create some different type of the dolphin, whales, okay, even starfish, prawns, lobsters, and lions, chicken, birds, whatever. Okay, all living things. These scientists come down to Earth. They create everything. Okay, some animals, are really beautiful. Some look really attractive. Some big size animals, such as dinosaurs, such as not dinosaurs. Dinosaurs not big enough. Okay, dolphins, whales, sharks, and some like elephant, giraffes, whatever. So some small animals, like rats, mouse, and even insects. Some scientists with advanced technology from other worlds of dimensions, they come down to Earth. They create a virus. Okay, for example, one of them, and some fungi, small microorganisms, living things. Okay, so you can see it's a beautiful world, all being created, everything being created. So with high technology such as cloud, okay, we can see the background of the sky is blue, clouds they are white, and when they get darker, they have rain. We have a lightning, we have a thunder storm, we have rainy days, we have ocean, we have wind, we have cyclone, we have typhoon. Okay, we have forest, we have deserts, we have sand, we have rocks, we have stones, we have gems, we've got everything. Okay, we have gold, we have bronze, we have silver, we have oil, we got everything. And God created just enough for us. They create for purposes. Okay, this is a very important one thing. They're doing this not for nothing. Okay, they have a meaning. God wants to do something. Why He create Earth? Why He do that? Many years ago. Because living things from other dimension, for example, from fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, they want to upgrade their soul to a higher level, say to the 6 or to 7, whatever. They need to what? They need to create they need to increase the energy, power of energy. Okay, if they do to increase the energy in their own world, in their own dimension, it takes long time to do so. Maybe 10,000 years, maybe million years, maybe 10 million years. But if that spirit decide to come to the earth, the three-dimensional earth, okay, and he got a shortcut. Why? Because the lifespan of earth is limited. For a dog, 10 years. For another animal, maybe 20 years. For the snake, maybe 40 years. For humans, only about 60 years. So all lives on earth, they have limitation. So they have to do it to upgrade their soul within a certain period of time. Once the soul been upgraded, and when he go back to the fifth dimension, if he can promote it to the sixth dimension. So they have to come down to earth to train, to practice. To train, to practice, that is to produce or to increase their power. But if that living thing fail to do so, it got negative forces, negative energy, and the result will be different. He couldn't go higher level of the dimension. It may go to the fourth dimension. For example, if your lifetime, okay, your lifespan, okay, you've been doing all negative things, right? You kill people, you rob the bank, all bad things. You've been doing this, and your spirit, okay, will suffer. Okay, when your soul return to, because you have 3 souls within your body, and one soul will be remainder on earth surface, which is in the cemetery or where the body where you were, the last scene, okay, and another soul will be taken to the fourth dimension for judgment. And who judge you? Examiner. Who judge you? Must be someone there. Okay, someone let you in. Someone let you to practice on earth, and there are the people who judge you. Okay, how they judge you? They judge your lifetime. Maybe 60 years, maybe 30 years, maybe 80 years, maybe 100 years, don't know. Okay, what you have done, positive or negative, contribution or destruction, based on the result of your life. And then the judgment, the result of the judgment will determine where you go. If you do all the bad things, negative things, and you create negative forces, and this negative energy will lead you to the hell or to somewhere else, another world. Okay, it does exist. The heaven exists as well. Heaven also in the fourth dimension, and also they say the another world in the fifth dimension. If you have any curious, people may ask, oh, okay, sounds very complicated. So you have to understand this, step by step. And just like an onion, you peel the onion skin one layer by one layer. Or you don't do it straight away because it's very complicated. Okay, but once you understand it, and it is so simple, because we have to appreciate it. The Supreme God created this earth for us to practice, for us to upgrade our spirit to a higher level. And this is the meaning of life, is to create future. Otherwise, there's no meaning. So people will talk about meaningless. Okay, no need to be here because you're not practicing. If you're not practicing, you just waste your time. Okay, so people commit suicide. Okay, they commit the end of their life because they no need to be here. Once you choose to come here, and you are ready to be awakening, you are ready, to practice. You are ready to upgrade your soul. Okay, to be more purified, more positive, and more constructive. For you to upgrade to a higher level, to continue for your living. I was educated, just like ordinary people. I've been to the primary school, high school, and university, and I was taught about this, but I get bored. I knew they were teaching us wrong knowledge because of the deep state being controlled, Earth being controlled by the deep state, and for almost 10,000 years, and they try to cover up all the truth. So they deviate the pathway to God. So they lead us to the evil, resistantly to study. So I hate school. I didn't like teachers. I didn't like school because they're teaching wrong knowledge and something not they that means they try to brainwash us, and just like what's happening now politically, and most of the people on earth being brainwashed by the deep states. And deep state is a big organization, but they are not well organized because they have a lot of evil parties, like the Communist parties, like the Illuminatis, like the Rothschilds, and etc. But Rothschild is not the top, I tell you. This is something behind Rothschild. Okay, they are not the top yet. They're not up to the top of a hierarchy, not Illuminati. Freemason, there's so many different Freemasons, okay? And I don't say all of them are evil, okay? Some of them are good. And also a lot of governments, I would say 90% of the governments on earth run by deep state, which including America, China, Russia, Ukraine, and Japan, Australia, Canada, UK, Germany, etc. And 90% of the countries on earth being run by deep states under their evil parties. So those presidents, prime minister, or whoever, okay, these people, they are being controlled by the deep state. The who behind the deep state? The evil, of course, the evil from the fifth dimension, maybe from different world, When it is a positive forces, they must have negative forces. Like a Tai Chi, you have the black color within the Tai Chi. You have white color within the Tai Chi. Two different colors, isn't it? So they within in one. they will feel the empty. So we are in the empty. This empty is the entity. So there's the negative forces and positive forces. But when they go above to the top of the hierarchy, to the 11th dimension, okay, all negative and positive in unit as one. So the existence of this multi-dimensional entity consistent of positive and negative forces. For us, human being, okay, if we want to live in harmony and peacefully, and we have to choose, in the middle, the neutral way, lie. Not too much and not too much negative, not too much the other side of it. Okay, so that means we are not too much excited, not too much upset, not too much happy. Okay, because what the evil can do, they suck your energy. Okay, they give you a lot of suffocate, and make you depressed, make you suffer, make you pains, make you a lot of things, haters, things like that, and then you create a lot of energy being exerted, from your body, because you're screaming, you're yelling, things like that, and then the evil will suck it. And the other way around, when you are so happy, for example, you and your partner, having sexual activities, or yourself, in a very high motivated, okay, being motivated, you up to a very high degree of excitement. You also exert energy, and this energy will be taken by the evil. Is it complicated? So I would say people, if they want to live long life, they have to be steady, calm. Yes, meditation is very important, or you pray to God. A meditation to me is part of my procedures of prayer. When I pray to God, I would speak to the Jesus, or speak to the Buddha, etc. Because they all exist. They all exist in another dimension, and in the human history, and they all exist in our history as well. Okay, very simple like that. Firstly, I think they are fully aware. Temples, church, etc., whatever. Okay, and they have changed. Since in the past 1,000 years. Okay, 2,000 years after Jesus, after the Buddha. Okay, and I don't know what they're doing. Church or temple, whatever. They may be collecting money for their charity. Maybe. Okay, maybe good. Okay, maybe they have their own activities, helping people, helping poor people, refugees, elderly people, things like that. Fine, it's positive. It's okay. For practicing, practicing your spirit. Okay, for your soul to develop. Okay, and I don't think temple or church is a good place. You can practice at home, because you don't have to follow all their procedures. They have their own regulations. They give you a time frame. They give you break the rule, and then they kick you out. God's very very simple. Okay, but that's one thing very clear is in the fourth and fifth in our dimensions. There's so many gods, but there's only one God. That's what the Bible said. There's a sovereign God, okay, or Almighty God, who is in the 11th dimension. Okay, there's only one. You got a supreme power. Okay, because the God create our earth, our world, okay, and all lives and all beings. So this one thing, we have to realize and accept that, okay, because already happened. You can't deny your life, okay, because you're being born, right? So the first life being created, all lives created on earth, they are artificial intelligence. Why? Because once they've been created, the first one, and they start reproducing, and this is intelligent things that we cannot create. Our technology, our science technology cannot do it, right? Because it comes from very high technology, which very advanced. So one thing is now this is artificial intelligent technology, which we don't have. And so this is one thing you have to accept that, and you are part of it. And the body being created for us to get into it, so we can experience the earth. Otherwise, we couldn't experience. We can experience, during our childhood to our adolescence to adulthood, and then we study, we get married, dating with boys or girls, and then we have education, or we go to work, we get married, we form family, we have children, and we have different experience. We have politics, we have religions, we have different classes in social, we have wars, we have a lot of things happen. And this is for us to experience. We go through the path, okay? Some in good, some in bad. Some people very happy, because they create a steady life, happy life. But most of the people, not. They do not. Most of the people, they experience badly. They say, come from a broken family. They've been dumped by the girlfriend or boyfriends. Family broken, divorces, separated, or they have friend, cheat his money, and the business collapse. Bankruptcies, car accidents, and have trouble with neighbors and things like that. A lot of negative things happening. Just let you to experience. It is why you don't have to believe or not. Keep happening. Okay? If your life's finished this time, you come back next time. Why? Because you don't have the qualification to upgrade. Then you have to come back. So if you want to get out from it, you have to awake, and then you have to practice, and then you have to upgrade your soul to a higher dimension, then you can get out from it. And remember, there's 3 souls. Some people have more than that. Some people have 4, 5, 6 different souls that representing different characters. Remember, if you don't do it good or rightly, you still have to come back. Then you mix with different souls. Okay? And then you may have a struggle within your mind. Sometimes some people they have difficulties to make decisions. Why? Because another soul within his body telling himself different things. Some people say my echoes. Some people say this maybe my spirit telling me something differently, or blah blah blah. Okay, so people don't understand the inside world. If they do know, okay, they have 3 souls. The 3 souls, they have to compromise. One thing is because 3 souls are helping each other to study, okay, to practice on earth, in the purpose to upgrade the soul to the higher dimension and get off me. Okay, you don't want to stay here for 1,000 years. You don't want to stay here for 100 years. A lot of souls, they graduated. They don't have to come back. Okay, because at the very beginning, a lot of living things from other dimension, they choose to come to the earth here. Okay, because they want to upgrade. I don't say a shortcut. They want to spend a short time to practice so they can go upgrade to a higher dimension. Otherwise, they will choose to stay in their own dimension to spend 10 million years do the practicing. Okay? So once you come down to earth, you take the risk. The risk is you may be polluted. You may be contaminated. Once you contaminated, bad luck. You become a bad guy. All right? You will do all the bad things, and then you will get judgment, and then you will get punishment, and then you have to come back. Yes, or if you're a good guy, you go to heaven, all right? And then the angel or the Jesus will tell you, congratulations, you graduate, get promotion to a higher dimension. You become a god. But not many can do it. Not many people achieve that. So majority of people, I don't know how many, they fail, and they have to come back again. And some people, they resent it. They said, why should choose make a? Some people they resent themselves to make a wrong decision, and then they reluctantly to stand with the evil, okay? Because they revenge. They want to destroy this earth, and then they want to fight against the gods. And this is how the war starts. The wars, the war already begun, and this law of wars or battlefields on Earth or in the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension. The good and the bad, two sides. They have a lot of wars in the past 10,000 years. But and also the people on Earth, they can sense, okay, maybe they can feel it, right? So when you see this something happening, for example, big earthquake or some cyclones, or maybe some floods, maybe some big accidents like that. Some of these things happens caused by the war from the fourth dimension. Okay, because the energy are dimensionless. Okay, or it sense. Okay, people can sense that. Every individual they have the power, okay, to sense that. But a lot of people they don't awaken, they don't awake, so they don't know, they don't feel that, they don't sense that. Okay, this is very normal. Unless you awake and open your power to utilize your power, and then you can sense what's happening now. Okay, in fourth dimension and in fifth dimension. So how the fight going on. Yes, positively. Okay, you don't take the negative forces. The first thing is you have to awake. Before you awake, you have to accept the truth. One thing you have to find out who are you, and then find out the truth of our history, of the science about Earth. So what Earth is? It's not a planet. It's not a globe. Okay, it's a Jara. Okay, it's not flat either. And one thing is very important is because the universe doesn't exist, the solar system doesn't exist. That means we do not rotate around sun. Another way around is the sun rotating around Earth. So you see the sun above us. There's more than one sun. There's 5 suns. Okay, so in back to 6 to 10,000 years ago. They have 10 suns. Okay, 9 being destroyed, and only 1 exists. And then the gods create another 4. So now today at the present we have 5 suns exist. Okay, so they are living things living in sun. If you talk about, if you ask people from Freemason, or if you don't believe in Freemason, you can ask people who have psychic power. Okay, they can tell you there's a lot. The sun is not a fireball. Okay, it's not a fireball. A sun creates energy for us, for all living things on Earth. They are catering us. They are looking after us. And Earth is unique. Okay, is different from other planets. Okay, in the fifth dimension. Okay, we have other worlds other than Earth. We have Mars, we have Venus, and we have Mercury around us. They are not planets either. They are right next to us and in the same level. That means if we go into Mars, we don't have to take a rocket, a spaceship to travel. Okay, we need a really special, what do you call it? A transport tool. Okay. And parabolic from Earth, to take to the Mars. Mars just next to us, just not far away. But one thing is we couldn't survive. This one thing. Why? Because Earth is the only one use oxygen. Everything on Earth would be oxidized. So the God created for the purposes, because you never can have a forever life on Earth. Everything you will be oxidized and finished. Once oxidation process is end, your life is finished. It's not function. Your heart is not function. Your kidney is not function. Your body is not function. Not only human being, all lives, including animals, trees, everything. Okay, virus, microorganisms, they all have the same fate, oxidation. Okay, but other world like Mars, Venus and Mercury, they don't have these things because they don't use oxygen. Because in the 3-dimension Mars, there's no living thing there, but in the 4th-dimension Mars, yes, there's a lot of living things, living there in the 4th-dimension Mars and Venus and Mercury, but you can't use your your naked eyes to see it. Okay, you have to upgrade yourself spiritually, upgrade yourself, and then you can see, living things in the 4-dimensional world of Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Okay, you call it ghosts. They're ghosts living there. Yes, they're living there. But they don't use oxygen. The thing is, you must realize yourself. You find out yourself who you are. Okay, and you are what kind of person you are. You must know that. Okay, people don't know and think, oh yeah, it's very difficult to do it. I couldn't find out myself. Who am I? And then you can find out simple things. Is what we need. We need love. So first element is love. Okay, so you call yourself you're a lovely person. You're compassionate, right? And this element you need it positively. You need all positive element. Okay, to find out who you are. And the simple way is, you can enhance yourself as a compassionate person, a lovely person, full of love, or full of you are contributed, and you are powerful, a man or powerful woman, and you are things like that. Just make up your mind. You start from there. And then you have to announce, declare that you're going to stay with God positively. You don't stay with evil. Okay, you stay with God to create a kind and lovely society. Okay, and which is ruled by the God. Okay, so there will be you can call it Jesus. The King of Jesus. Will create the world. Okay, a fair world. All beings live harmony. Things like that. You can declare that you're going to create or build a Christianity world, or you're going to build a Buddhist world for all beings to live harmony and peacefully. Okay, decoration is really important. And announcement is very important. And that's who you are. Based on that, you start meditating. Okay, meditation is a lot of people can do meditation. There's a lot of teaching or lessons from the YouTube. You can follow that. It's very basic practicing. Okay, and you have one thing. You have to emphasize that you are that kind of positive person. Okay. You're full of compassionate, you're full of love, you're full of contribution, full of etc. Okay, responsibility, reliable, all these positive elements, and you must do it every time. Meditation, and do meditation every day, but not too long. Otherwise, you go to sleep. So people take about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. It's enough, or maybe half an hour. Okay, some people even can do when they sleep. When they sleep, they do meditation in the dream. For the technology, okay, so you have different experience on that. So I expect people to do meditation, every day, and do announcement and declaration before the meditation. Why? Because once you announce and declare, all the gods, good gods, the positive angels, things like that, will guide you, will protect you, okay, and nothing or even evil, can attack you or interrupt you. Okay, so to put yourself in the right track, and it takes time. Some people may few days, couple days. Some people take 3-4 months. Some people may take a whole year. You must stay with God. Announcement and declaration is very important. Okay, and then later on, take gradually. You will find out who you are. Okay, and then you may find out where you're from. Okay, you may come from different planets, Pelicans, Palladians. You may come from, I don't know how to say, in other word, in Greek or in Chinese or in English. Okay, a different world. They definitely exist, and you find out where you're from, fifth dimension, okay, and then you find out your mission of life. Why you're here? You come here to achieve your mission, to help people, or to just purely to upgrade your soul to higher dimension, okay, and you will find out yourself. Of course, it takes time, maybe a couple of days, as I said, maybe a couple of months, maybe a couple of years. But one day you will find out. Of course, you must be, in a positive way. Just saying, but you have to do it. How to prove that, you are full compassionate? You must do it, take an action. From the action, you create the result. And then you find out if people will tell you you're very compassionate, or you're a lovely person, you're trustworthy, you're reliable. How people can tell? Come from your action, right? You can't just say, you love people, but, in return, you do everything negative. So when you say you're a lovely person, you're full of compassionate, and you're reliable, you must do something, to prove that you are. Well, once you do that, and you're creating a power of energy, and this energy distinguishedly and will become more dominating, and you feel a light around you, very bright, different kinds of lights around you, which is protecting you, okay? And you can utilize these lights of power for connections, to upgrade your soul. Some people, they don't want to connect with other beings from other dimension, but they want to upgrade their soul only. Yes, the energy is there, you can use it, and this will be very powerful. After you make an announcement and declaration, all the gods and angels will protect you. Nothing can hurt you, so don't worry about it, okay? But in case when you are not meditation, when you are not good mood, okay, some people may have a temper, may have a hard time, okay? At that time, evil or demon may attack you easily. So at that time, what you have to do is you have to convert your negative energy, convert it into a positive energy, self-enlightenment. Cheer up yourself, to manage your temper, to calm down, and make announcement again, declaration again, and then all the positive forces will come back, and all the angels will come back to protect you, okay, to lead you to the pathway to heaven, to the positive ending. So be positive, and everything will be positive. For those listeners, okay, and if you find something interesting, or if you have any queries, please leave the message underneath, so I'll find out and I will improve. And thank you very much.